Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So this is a video I've been meaning to get to for quite some time. I will say quite some time. A good couple of weeks, okay? Because we just get an unlimited amount of rankings coming out this year, and there's always the rankings of the Christmas specials, and they're always written by people who have no idea what they're talking about, and they're always bonkers, right? So I looked at it and went, that's something I could probably take the piss out of. So I've been meaning to take the piss out of it for quite some time. I have too many. I just took a random sampling of, I got a good one. 6 or 7 of these rankings to go through. We're not going through them all, okay? We're not going through all. If we get through 2, I'll be really impressed. But we will be liberally taking the piss. That's a good thing. Tonight is I believe this is going out on Wednesday. I'm recording this on Monday the 19th. It's going out on Tuesday. I got a live show, and Wednesday I don't. So I think it's going out on Wednesday, which means I can't move things around like I used to do. What I have to do now, right? So I can have these little candles going in the bottom. What I have to do, I record it once with, I do it once without the candles, and then I do it once with the candles. Because if I gotta move it around, I gotta redo it with a whole nother bunch of candles. If this is so out, on Monday is the first day of Hanukkah, Tuesday second day, Wednesday will be the third day. If it's the third day of Hanukkah, why is there 4 candles? You may ask, right? Is it going to be the third day? So where? Sunday was the first night, right? Monday was the second, Tuesday was the third, so it'll be the 4th night. So down here, there will be 5 candles, right? Why are there 5 candles if it's the 4th night of Hanukkah? Unless I got it wrong, it's 3 candles and there's 4. Okay, why is that? It's because you can have one extra one, because the lights of the candles are so crazily holy, you're not allowed to use them for anything other than publicizing the great miracle of Hanukkah that went down this time of year, that transcended time and space. I talk about this on my live streams. You don't have to believe me, okay? But just I wouldn't put them in. I understand these aren't real candles, okay? It's all fake, okay? Everything's fake. But I like to do Jewish stuff. Anyway, so if you've been wondering how, if I say it's the 4th night of Hanukkah and there's 5 candles, that's why. Inquiring minds want to know. Like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are fantastic. Thank you very much. I am very grateful for everybody doing it, and I am very grateful for everybody doing that. It's been really very, very nice. Thank you very much. I was going to go off and do a bit, but no, really, I just want to say thank you, because it's very nice of you. It makes me feel very good, so I very much appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, if you can consider hitting the subscribe button, that'd be fantastic. I mean, look, it's Christmas, baby. I understand a lot of people are like, bah, humbug, I hate Christmas. Nick Briggs is like that, apparently, right? Apparently he says it every opportunity I've heard him on anything. And I like Nick Briggs a lot. This is not ranking on Nick Briggs, but Nick Briggs really doesn't like Christmas. Socialists normally don't, right? Do they like the tooth fairy as well? I don't know. Me, Christmas is just nice. It's just fun. But that's probably why we don't get box sets of classic Christmas specials, because Nick Briggs doesn't like Christmas, right? Just doesn't like Christmas. And I think a lot of the artsy intelligentsia aren't so into it. I think we were very lucky having Doctor Who come back in 2005, because if it came back today for there'll be no chance we'll do Christmas special, because Christmas evil, it's white male patriarchy, whereas back 15, 20 years ago we could look at these things with a little bit more sanity and go, oh, how marvelous Christmas, English Christmas, mince pies, oh, I'm not excluding anyone. Yet we're not, right? We're not. Drives me crazy. I keep trying to explain to the Americans around, which are most of the people around me, that no, Christmas in England is a holiday for everybody, right? It really is. Muslims keep Christmas. Why? Because it's freaking awesome. What's there not to like about mince fucking pies and turkey, okay? They're all good things. Oh, this Friday night, I'm having my my Christmas dinner. We do Christmas Sabbath, right? We have a Sabbath meal every year, but we do a special Christmas one, roast turkey, chestnut stuffing, baby. roast potatoes, maybe a bit of parsnips. Parsnips are hard to come by outside of England. It's really strange. Maybe some parsnips. I love a parsnip, right? I absolutely love parsnips. No Yorkshire puddings. We save that for the Jewish New Year, but we don't get ahead of ourselves. And my wife has to make a new Christmas pudding. Why? Because she made one last year, and I kept picking at it. Yeah, because I'm the only one who eats it, right? I am literally the only one who eats it. And I think they're all crazy, right? And eventually I got to a point where I rolled it into a ball and said, that's going to be enough for me for next year. No worries. Put it in the freezer, right? Now we've got a bunch of guests coming. I've got to make a new one. Maybe, hopefully some more mince pies as well. Oh, I love the mince pies. Did I mention how much I love mince pies? Don't send me any, okay? People have done that in the past. Thank you, right? Thank you very much. I'm really good. But getting kosher food is a nightmare. Right? In America, it's much easier. You've got these little symbols on them, right? That says this is kosher. This is. In England, you've got to get this book, I think, of what's kosher. And finding kosher mince pies, it's so hard. The only real hope. There's a kosher bakery in Golders Green, right? If you want to try kosher mince pie. They taste the same as Mr. Kipling's, right? Go for Mr. Kipling's, and they're probably like a quarter of the price, Mr. Kipling. Anyway, there's was it Hendon or Golders Green? There's a kosher bakery called Grudzinski's, I think. One year I was searching for kosher mince pies, and that's the only place I could find. And even they were a bit dodgy about it. Dude, it's a mince pie. They're wonderful. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. We should do a ranking of Christmas food, right? I mean, for me, the mince pies are up there at the top with booze and eggnog. You know what'd be awesome? I saw somebody's put out a recipe for eggnog cheesecake. I'm like, oh, that's good. How about eggnog, kind of like eggnog cream to put on your mince pie? Oh my God, that shouldn't give me an erection, should it? That shouldn't give me. There's something wrong, but that gets you hard. Okay, there is something strange, but you can only work with what you got. Fine with that. Like, share, subscribe. I didn't even mention Substack. Sign up my Substack. Okay, I think you know what. Sign up my paid Substack. Just do a month. I think I earned it, right? I think I earned it just now, but it's up to you. Like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack, Instagram. Follow me on the Instagrams, and let's have a look at this first article. Of course, we're going to start with Screenrant, right? Because Screenrant are all in bonkers. Now, I am very, very on top of Christmas specials this year. I've been watching them since the beginning of December, and I went through all the weaker ones first, and I found basically all of them have something to offer. The Capaldi ones are so much better than I remember. Last Christmas is one of the best base under sieges in the modern era, with this weird Christmassy stuff dolloped on top, right? And if they only had the balls to make that Clara's last appearance, that would have been an all-time classic. Because when he meets Clara, she's old, right? But that was just another layer of the dream. They should have made that her last appearance. That would have been wonderful. Anyway, every Doctor Who Christmas and New Year special. New Year specials, really? They're not very special, the New Year specials, right? They're special in the same way you send kids to a special school. Not that special. Not a special that you really that one would really want to be. Here, and each of the festivals is ranked worst to best, right? So if it doesn't, what's the worst one? Before I start looking at the worst one has to be Resolution. Not Resolution of the Dalek, Resolution, coming off of the turgid season 11, right? Probably the worst seasons of all time of Doctor Who. The season 11 of Doctor Who makes the original run season 23 look like bloody Shakespeare. It is awful, right? Flat, bland, preachy and annoying. I could actually be describing Jodie Whittaker, flat, bland, preachy and annoying. And it scares me how accurate that actually is. Resolution is garbage, right? Absolute garbage. Beaten only slightly by the Evolution of the Dalek, right? Because she couldn't get the name right. At least had that Trumper-like guy from Sex and the City who's now been cancelled for being a sex pest or something, like they all are, right? Did you know the guy in charge of trust and safety at Twitter was a big into promoting sex with children. I really well, very, very much liked all that. So there was no protection for child sexual exploitation on Twitter while he was in charge. Yeah, it always turns out that way, isn't it? Fine. So we're going to look at the special. So the Revolution of the Dalek. They were at least trying hard with that one. And what's that one again? What was that last one they had? Groundhog Day of the Daleks? It was an R name, right? We'll probably get to it. But that was the least worst one. As 2022 comes to a close, it has a lot of weird bits in it. It's only been a year since... It's the only year since 2005 we have not had a Doctor Who Christmas special. Yeah, thank you, Chibnall. More on that you are. Or New Year special. Geordie Wicked Regeneration story is the first since Eccleston not to take place during the Christmas season. They just want to get rid of her, didn't they? With the 6th anniversary in 2023, Fowler has to wait till November for another trip in the TARDIS. Well, you could always get Big Finish in. they got a full road of stuff going this year. Far bit for me to be pedantic. There's been a special every year in the modern era of the show, with each of varying quality. They started out at the very beginning being very Christmas central, and they were right up until Chris Chibnall couldn't write a Christmas. I don't know what to do. I can't. We've run out of ideas. We're going to do New Year's. That'll be fun. No, it won't, you moron. Christmas is fun. New Year's is basically a hangover and a excuse for a piss up, and also mild disappointment, because it's never as good as you think it's going to be, right? They started out I go to bed before midnight on New Year's nowadays. Like, what day is New Year's? It's going to be, Christmas is on Sunday, right? Christmas is on Sunday, so New Year's will be on Sunday. Oh, bloody hell. Man, that's going to be a bit of a party. So that's New Year's Day or New Year's Eve? New Year's Day's on it. Man. So everyone's going to have a bit of hair and dog going on there. They started being better, but use offensive backgrounds as dressing in later episodes. I think they did that in the early ones as well. Like Christmas Invasion. It wasn't really integral to the plot that it was at Christmas, right? It could have been the Easter Invasion. There was Tinsel Up. Okay, that was it. I mean, yeah, we had the Santas, and the next year they leaned in a bit more with the Killer Christmas Tree, right? And they also had like killer stuff, but it's just because it was like Christmas. It wasn't like intrinsic to the plot. Whereas something like what's it called again? Christmas Carol. That was insanely Christmassy, right? Below is the ranking of each Christmas New Year special from worst to best, excluding Spyfall, even though it aired on New Year's Day. But it's the only episode that wasn't special, but instead the first episode of the season. Yeah, another great bit of wonderful thing from Chibnall. So what is the worst one? Twice I wanted to fuck off! What? Okay, this is actually my favourite one, right? What? Twice Upon a Time, the worst. Are you out of your fucking mind? Now, I understand a lot of people didn't like the presentation of David Bradley's First Doctor. It was fine. Look, I'm watching the Season 2 Blu-ray right now. It wasn't so different, like saying, you all get a smack bottom. That's fun. They were having fun with the changing in society before society changed so insanely unrecognizably that you had 12-year-old boys cutting off their bollocks. I mean, right? Like, it was kind of a fun. It was good. I don't think it was disrespectful at heart at all. And I think if a doctor is contemplating not regenerating, losing, ending his life. No, not suicide, but not continuing. I think the last place he would visit would be the Christmas armistice in World War One. I think for a character that is defines themselves by peace, right, and the quest for peace, I think that would be the last spot he visits. Honestly, it was wonderful in so many bloody ways. I Peter Capaldi, that's normally a giveaway. It's going to be very good, isn't it? Peter Capaldi's final Christmas special and final episode in general suffers from for one main reason: you're a dick. That's what it's suffering for. Originally, the season of the Doctor Falls intended to be Capaldi's regeneration story, and would have worked fine. Would have worked fine. However, Chris Chibnall is a moron, right? Is a moron. Didn't want to start a zero on Christmas special. Why would you want everybody watching your Doctor Who and the number one TV watching day of the year, right? It's because you didn't want everybody to see how shit it was going to be. Really? Although I don't know, because they really were quite confident it was going to be awesome. If you want to laugh, all right? If you want to laugh, go to the 2018 Comic Con when you had Jodie Whittaker doing a little fashion show, and you just saw this Karen mum who clearly has no idea what she's doing, really excited, thinking it's going to be awesome, doing this fashion show. Oh god, it was so funny. It's especially in hindsight, they had no clue how badly it was going to go down. I don't think Whittaker still has any clue. However, Chibnall didn't want to start on Christmas, and Stephen Moffat didn't want to lose the Christmas Day slot, which they then lost. Because, again, Chibnall's a moron. So he tried one final episode. Peter Capaldi is great as usual, and the return of the First Doctor makes it interesting for regeneration parallels. Great idea! First Doctor, not sure he wants to regenerate. Meeting the 12th Doctor, not sure he wants to regenerate. But things like that, loose plot, and some odd characterization for the First Doctor. Things like loose plot, I don't think the plot was loose, and odd characterization for the First Doctor, paired with the fact that Doctor Falls should have been the ending for the 12th Doctor, makes Twice Upon a Time take the bottom slot. You are a moron! Oh my god, no! Who wrote this? Who wrote this? Edward Cleary, not your... go to bottom. You should be... Oh, you were saying Revolution of the Daleks is better than Twice Upon a fucking Time. Are you out your fucking mind? Are there experiments going on your brain? That's insane. Revolution of the Daleks was shit, right? Was absolute shit. I mean, the new Daleks was shit. The Doctor not being able to break out of prison was expected, but also shit, right? Again, if you like shit, this one might be for you. Was it as shitty as Resolution? No, that was even worse, and somehow that got higher up on the list. Let's try and read their rationale before I vomit onto the camera. Okay. The second Doctor, the second Jodie Whittaker's Dalek New Year specials is the worst of them. No. It starts with the Doctor being locked up in space jail and being away from her companions for a year. It might be much longer than that. From the companions' point of view, it's like a year. The episode doesn't stay with the Doctor in jail long enough, and it doesn't do returning character Captain Jack justice, as it doesn't really get anything to do. He saves the Doctor and saved Doctor Who as well, right? He gave him a nice little boost in the ratings, and then, of course, they took a shit on John Barrowman for no reason whatsoever. Oh my god, 20 years ago, he used to get his dick out on set, and everybody laughed. Oh, we all loved it for years, and we all talked about it. It was never, ever something that anybody was upset about. But now we're gonna clutch our pearls and say, cancel John Barrowman, and the BBC goes, oh yeah, fuck yeah, let's get rid of a bit of John Barrowman because we love diversity, but fuck that gay guy, right? I mean, obviously not literally, because I'm in the middle of stopping children. I'm in the character of a BBC executive right now. I just want to be clear, right? Oh man. It's so shit in so many ways. You got Yaz mooning over the Doctor, looking like she swallowed a wasp and doing a normal block of wood acting. Oh god, it's so awful. It's so awful. We're not getting past this list. This is the only one we're going to be doing. I don't think we're getting to the second one. Maybe we'll try and do that on my live stream tomorrow. Yeah, we've got plenty more to get through. The new Dalek design is nice. The Pepper Tots get some interesting beats. No, the new Dalek design is shit, and the Daleks don't get any interesting beats. It's got the most stupid plot of all time. And even though Ryan and Graham's departure is a little abrupt and just weird, right? The departure is just, it's like, oh, let's all hug together. Ryan's like, I think I'll go. And Bradley Wood's like, fuck yeah, get me to Blankety fucking Blank. Oh, get me out of this shit. Pepper Potts have the interest. No, and even though Ryan is a little abruptly, it just about works. It doesn't work in any way, shape, or form. The Doctor and Ryan finally get a scene together. get a great scene together, do they? And those good points mean it misses out on the bottom of the list. Okay, I mean, and all the other shit means it's totally fine, okay? The Next Doctor! Okay, this is the best of the David Tennant specials. By a long way, right? Absolutely by a long way. I think it's Russell T Davies' best Cyberman story. I loved Cybermen in the Victorian snow. The opera singer who plays the main villainess is good. They deal with feminism in a way that's clever and works, right? And that I agree with it, for God's sake, right? I love the villain. I love the fusion of her with Cybermen. I loved Jackson Lake's Doctor and his terrible sad story. And I love the Doctor having Christmas dinner at the end. I think that was lovely, right? I think that was absolutely lovely. It's just like, what the hell? This is at the bottom of that list? Oh, man. It's, if we're going to talk in technical scientific terms, there is some dumb fuckery going on here. Dumb fuckery. Watch out for dumb fuckery. You find it across in the media all the bloody time. I guess this video is not monetized. An interesting episode that played off the knowledge of David Tennant leaving the role. David Morrissey is a great guest star who also think he's a doctor for most of the episode. No, it's actually very, very short. Right? That the viewer think he's the next Doctor is about 15 minutes. Right? At the absolute most, right? It's believable that he could have been a Doctor full-time. Sadly, that's where the praise ends. The plot isn't great. It's really great, right? I love the Cyber King. A lot of it was great, and neither is the villain. She's fantastic! Okay, the Cybermen Return might have been their most boring appearance yet. No, again, you have the kids in the workhouse, the Cyber King. The utter stupidity that I'm reading here is just beyond me. A forget-away episode bar the great chemistry between Tennant and Morrissey, and the 10th Doctor finally goes for Christmas dinner, which was a nice touch. There was a lot of nice touches. There's a great scene where he walks out the TARDIS, he's walking around, you have that great Murray Gold music, and says, "You boy, what day is it?" "Well, it's Christmas Day, sir." It's wonderful, right? It's wonderful. I love this one. And oh god, now what I didn't love was the snowman, right? The snowman, I think, is the weakest of the Christmas specials that I've seen. It's like between the snowman and the Doctor, the Widow, and the wardrobe. So what makes this one weak is I don't really like it's too cutesy, right? The cutesiness is turned up to 12, right? So I don't really like the Paternoster gang that much. Again, just too cutesy for me. I don't really Clara, while being absolutely Jenna Coleman's sexiest appearance, Victorian Clara is very hot, right? But she's so... Is the word smug I'm thinking of? She's just so freaking smug, which was a problem as the companion all the way through. There's a weird prequel with to Web of Fear. I don't really want to know about the origin of the great intelligence. I think it was probably better not knowing about it. It's and the Doctor being reclusive and grumpy while not being reclusive and grumpy. Again, none of this really works, but what does work is it's just got a lot of heart, right? It's a fun, frothy souffle of entertainment for Christmas Day for you to watch with the normies, right? That's essentially what it's for, and I think it does its job there. Was it the greatest episode? No. Was it better than anything Jodie Whittaker did? Well, of course it was. That's like saying, I don't know, is a blowjob better than getting a fish shoved up your ass? Well, I mean, listen, it's up to your own personal ranking system for that. I would prefer a blowjob to having a fish shoved up my ass, and I want to be clear, even a small Filipino boy's wrist, somebody with thin wrists, with thin hands. Even that, I would rather the blowjob, right? I would rather the blowjob. But that's just me for you. Just one guy's opinion, okay? One guy's opinion. And from a woman, okay? I never want a blowjob from a guy, okay? And I understand. Many of you watching this are gay. God bless you. I'm happy for you. I just don't want to be... I'm just not for me, mate. Just not for me. But I don't know. I've never asked this, right? I never asked it, but I've got to do a survey of bi people. What blowjobs are better, from men or from women? Because again, I'm never willingly going to find out, okay, to be absolutely clear. A mixed bag of an episode of The Snowman is the first and only Christmas special to come directly in the middle of a season. Well, that's also strange. It sets up Jenna Coleman's Clara before her official start of the episode. Well, also, she was in the Dalek one as well. Classic villains of great intelligence returns, or actually comes for the first time. Also setting up their arc for the rest of the season, but there aren't much of a threat until the end. The evil snowmen are a cool concept, but they don't really get much more than a Christmassy window dressing. Well, the whole thing, this is all Christmassy window dressing to a certain extent. It's the first episode of season 7 after Amy and Rory has left, and does a good job setting up the chemistry around Clara. Yeah, but I don't think Matt Smith really... I think it was too cutesy, right? The whole thing. I think it was just too cutesy. Okay, we're not ranking the ranking. We're just taking the piss out of Screenrant's ranking. Okay, just to be clear. This first appearance of the 11th Doctor's new TARDIS. Oh, I wasn't sure it was. I also like new titles as well, which carries over to the 12th and improves. Is one of the best TARDIS reveals in the show. One of the best. I put it in the top 10, maybe. Was it Benton? Benton's still my favourite, right? Benton's still my, well, Sergeant, don't you want to say bigger on the inside? Well, it's kind of obvious, isn't it, sir? I mean, yes, I like a bit of Benton. The Return of Dr. Mysterio. Now, I prefer the Return of Dr. Mysterio over, what's it called again? The Snowman. Even though the Snowman is a better episode. The reason the Return of Dr. Mysterio fails is because they're trying to do a superhero movie. Now, Doctor Who is a show. It's very, very variable. You can do. I can't believe we only had one Whittaker so far, right? It's a show. It's a very, very variable format. You can do crime noir. You can do contemporary. You can do historical. You can do all kinds of things with it. So this is them trying to do a superhero movie, and the direction just completely fails. Equally, the guy playing Dr. Mysterio should have some huge star. What, you're gonna get Chris Evans in or so? There's all these Hollywood royalty that like Doctor Who, right? So I'm surprised that the casting wasn't better. But again, and it wasn't even a good superhero movie. It's more like a rom-com. However, this is this and what's the one? The Husbands of River Song are two parts of a not a trilogy, a duo, I guess. It's got the same villains in both. They got the best bit. The reason to watch this is Capaldi's interaction with the kids at the beginning, which is wonderful, right? Which is absolutely wonderful. Again, this is a frothy bit of fun designed for the normies to watch around on Christmas Day, right? After the turkey. It's a family entertainment. Basically, it's a family show, and that's what it leans into. But Capaldi with the kid at the beginning is beautiful. And also, it's really interesting that it's got a real, very strong core, emotional core, that it's Capaldi right after he spent, 27 years, I think, with River Song, and she's just died, right? She's just died. And he's kind of coming to terms with that. That's why Nardog's with him. But at the very end, right, he excitedly turns the console on and goes for an adventure in time and space. He's basically got his groove back, and we should have had another couple of seasons before his final one. But generally speaking, I found this very watchable with a few bits of cringe. Okay, that's a way of describing it. Which again, I can't say of any other Whittaker. Very watchable? No, I can't say that anything with Jodie Whittaker in anymore. Not the best by any stretch, but not the worst episode either. Doctor Who does the superhero origin story. While it's not everything about this episode works, or the direction, the superhero-ness. Doctor Who is the only show that can change everything from episode to episode. So doing its own take on a comic book genre was going to happen at some point. And was worth a go. Fair enough. Okay, I agree with it. It was worth a go. Probably one of the most forgettable episodes the show has ever done. No, actually, it's really not. It's better than you think. But other good points like Capaldi once again showing off his Doctor is a great opposite children. Yes, okay, look at that, we're even agreeing. And surprising appearance of Matt Lucas's Nardole. Yeah, there was a surprising appearance of him. I agree with you. Runaway Bride. So Runaway Bride, this is the one where I think it's the one where they finally worked out how to do a Christmas special. Again, a Christmas special is for the normies to watch after the turkey when they're half cut on some sherry, right? That is the function of the Christmas special. You come back from the pub, we always had a great tradition of putting on the most ridiculous sweaters that we got for Christmas, and going to the pub in the afternoon and everybody laughing at each other. Come back from the pub and then you on the couch with David Tennant going on, bouncing around in front of you. That was the goal, right? And he got Catherine saying, "This is for the normies to enjoy," and it really was. We had some real cinematic pieces of this. I love the TARDIS chasing the taxi to rescue Donna, right? We've never seen that before. It was wonderful. The closest we came was the Christmas Invasion the year before, when the TARDIS appears with the freshly regenerated David Tennant, and it smashes on the walls above the Mickey's mechanics where he works. But yeah, so this again. This was a big, cinematic, fun bit of adventure. The Rachnos at the end. Everything about this was just meant to be fun, right? And I think it was, right? Fun and personal. You know what? I've watched this for a while. This one might get a watch tonight for me. Catherine Tate's first appearance as Donna was originally a one-off before she returned for season 4. Yep, it's fair to say that Donna isn't fleshed out in the special. No, she was supposed to be like, bloody hell, Catherine Tate's in Doctor Who, and she's in season 4. But she does show the chemistry Tate and Tennant have, and does work well in Donna's future arc as the same character. I mean, works so well, we're going to see it next year. Nice Christmas fun with good comedy beats and set pieces. The definition of an episode the family could watch in the background and enjoying Christmas Day. Yes, I agree with this set of the template. So this, I think, is it's about the same level as the Snowmen, right? I think it's maybe a bit better. The Matt Smith's Doctor, again, a little bit too comedy centric. There's a lot that does work in it, though. Like I thought the whole basic, central point of the episode with the wife saving her husband on Christmas Day using this trans-temporal thing and the Christmas tree planet. All that was good. I think Matt Smith. It's all about Matt Smith trying to repay a debt, trying to make a great Christmas for a pair of kids as a repayment to, was it Majord, or was the character for something nice she did to him. Fantastic set piece at the beginning with Matt Smith falling out of space into a spaceship, into a spacesuit. Again, generally speaking, a bit of frothy Christmas fun, but I think it had a bit more of a emotional resonance to it, right? And I know a lot of people go, "Oh, it's so cringy." It's really not, right? It's really, really not. It's surprisingly good. Matt Smith's second special as the 11th Doctor isn't highly favoured by Doctor Who fans. That's fair, but it's not at the bottom of the pile. One of the reasons for the less than favourite reputation because at the time it was the longest gap between episodes. This was season 7 from the season 7 over Asylum of the Daleks, with a 9-month wait with just this episode. Which might have made fans sour on it. I'm not sure. It shows the Narnia type situation. Yes, I agree. And I think it works quite well. I mean, the making the planet Androzani was a bit weird, a bit name-checky, a bit strange. As was what's his name, the sci-fi fan guest star, who I can't remember his name of. But okay, whatever. The guy from Black Books, but not the guy, the main person. What's that guy's name? Can't remember. It's trying to get so it follows the Doctor in a Narnia type situation, trying to get mother and children back home for Christmas. No, it's trying to give the kids a great Christmas. I mean, look, the emotional resonance from it. Like, this mother knows her husband is dead, right? And she doesn't want the kids to find out on Christmas, because then Christmas will always be tied to that, right? Fantastic. Like, a real, like, stab in the heart emotional bit for you. But the but again, it was just got a little bit silly, right, for the beginning bit. And also the kid was a bit cutesy as well, right? Some nice direction. Smith's chemistry with the kids, not really as good, right? Not really as good as Capaldi. Plus the daughter, you can just see on screen there, clearly was very, very hot playing very hot young lady playing younger, like very clearly. But okay, but it's just my pervy mind. That's the first thing I look to. Some nice direction, Smith's chemistry with the children, a reunion with Amy and Rory at the end of the episode. Bump this episode up higher than it would be otherwise. Yeah, no, that was a great bit, right? When he turns up to Amy and Rory for Christmas. Last Christmas, this is so much better than I remembered. I mean, just so much better. I mean, everything about this really, genuinely worked. I'm even a bit, even the ending, right? I wish the ending was Clara being old. But, yeah. Do you like a bit of Doctor Who? Do you like a bit of Base Under Siege? This is great. And you had at the beginning, I can't remember the name of the character. She was trying to dance through the room with them, people with the brain crabs on them to Merry Christmas to everybody. Yeah, look, it all just worked, right? It all just worked. 12th Doctor meeting about his first special is a decent one. I agree. Nick Frost guest stars at the actual Santa, and he's very good in it, right? And there's a very, very plausible explanation for him being there. It's probably the best episode to learn the most, best episode to lean the most into Christmas out of the Capaldi specials. True. It features good supporting cast and deals with the fallout of the Doctor and Clara's relationship at the end of season 8's Death in Heaven, which sadly just didn't work, man. Everything on paper about that was great, was absolutely fantastic. But when you saw it on live, it just didn't work at all. Like Cybermen climbing out of graves should have been great. Sadly didn't work. But I think one of the greatest scenes in Doctor Who ever was Clara trying to get the Doctor to take him to find Danny Pink, right? Yeah, I mean, honestly, and that's I feel that was kind of definitive of Capaldi's Doctor Who. It does rip off a couple of ideas like Alien Facehuggers and Inception's Dream Within a Dream concept, but it's got some nice character moments like ending Clara and Dana's story. Well, yes, which was very good, right? And absolutely does make up for it. There's basically, if you don't remember, Clara's brain is being eaten away by this brain crab, and putting her in this perfect reality, and she creates like the perfect reality with Danny Pink. But she creates a Danny Pink so perfect, so exactly like Danny Pink, that he sacrifices herself so that she won't be sucked into it. It's brilliant, right? This one is brilliant. Strong recommend. We got more about it. Although Last Christmas does feel like it has too many endings. Yes, she should have been done. Oh, even the Daleks is next. No! None of this is... It does feel like too many endings have going from dream to dream. An issue caused by the fact that it was meant to be Jenna Coleman's final episode, but she was convinced to stay at Doctor Who season 9 late in the day. Stephen, mate, bad idea. Really, you were ready to move on by then. Stephen Monahan quickly wrote another ending on top of the one already there, so Clara stayed with the Doctor. Good for Clara fans, but hurts the episode slightly. Hurt Doctor Who slightly, in all fairness. Even the Daleks, so this was the best of the Jodie Whittaker specials, should be at the absolute bottom of the list. Why should it be at the absolute bottom of the list? I said the word Jodie Whittaker, so yeah, that's kind of why. There we go. The third and final of the New Year specials, which means they put Resolution above this. Bloody hell. The third and final of the New Year special, which this was the only one meant to be a Christmas special, right? With the Daleks for Chris Jim and Jodie Whittaker, Plans for the episode were impacted due to the pandemic, so the characters like Jack Robinson, who appeared in Revolution of the Daleks, were set up to return again, don't appear. Also, he was cancelled, you lying piece of filth, okay? It meant a smaller guest cast and minimal locations, which is not normally the case for the Chibnall penned episodes, but it goes in the episode's favour. The Doctor, Yas, and Dad are stuck in a time loop with a couple of strangers, and boy, are they strange, right? Creepy Nick, who's been mooning after Aisling B for years and years and years, keeping bits of things from old girlfriends. Yeah, certainly not people he didn't kidnap and murder and eat, right? Yeah, no. Just old girlfriends. Yeah, that guy has no old girlfriends. It's the weirdest thing ever. A nice little special with guest Aisling B is a standout. Yes, I agree. But with idiot Daleks who can't open doors, right? Not so bloody fearsome when a Dalek can't open a bloody door. It's only one of a couple of episodes with the Doctor and deal with the Doctor and Yaz's romance. Oh, how disgusting. And I'm not saying disgusting because I don't want to see lesbians on film. I very much want to see lesbians on film. I think Friends has always explained the male libido's love for lesbians in porn. What is that? Again, Chandler said, I just agree with them both so much. Yes, I do. But again, in Doctor Who, badly acted with people who were clearly straight. No, it failed completely. I think it was with Jodie Whittaker and Amanda Gill giving great performances. No. In that regard. No, they did not. End of Time Part 1 and 2. So, yeah, this is, I think, the weakest of the David Tennant specials. It just seemed to me that the production team at this point were kind of out of steam, right? It was like they kind of limped to finale. I think they bit off more than they could chew. Like, it all just seemed to be a bit smaller than they wanted to be, and I think they wanted to be much bigger, right? Well, on the upside, there's a lot to recommend it. You get the Bonkers John Sim Master, you get all kinds of things. Here's the thing: there's so many plot threads set up in this that are just completely ignored. Like, the weird woman in white who was mostly the Doctor's mother. I wonder if Russell's going to revisit this stuff when we get RTD2. David Tennant's final Doctor Who story is a two-parter across both Christmas Day and New Year's Day. The return of John Sim as a master, bringing the Time Lords in for the first proper time in the modern show. I forgot about that. Yeah, and also I think Timothy Dalton. Excellent as Rassilon, right? A really good Rassilon. It's a mixed bag with high energy, high stakes evidence throughout, but an odd plot at times with the Master turning into a skeleton and flying away. Let it down. Yeah, doesn't turn into a skeleton. Just he's got all this Artron energy bursting out. It doesn't work. It worked on paper. I don't think it really worked when we saw it. I think it's probably, other than Twice Upon a Time, Dr. Falls, this is probably the best John Sim appearance. And of course we get the fantastic what's going on? We get regeneration, right? That was great, right? What's it called again? Bernard Cribbins knocking 4 times. It was a bit of an overindulgent regeneration as he goes around trying to say goodbye to everyone, but I mean, and also not that Christmassy. Okay, not that Christmassy. Yeah, I will put this as the weakest of the Tennant specials. Fans are split on the 10th Doctor, so much more speech, and whether the farewell tour at the end should be there, not really. But there's no denying his final story before his 2022 return, and also, I guess, his 2013 return. Gives one of his best performances as Doctor. Yes, it also brings back Bernard Cribbins as Wilf, bring him along as a companion for the story. Yes! Brilliant, right? Absolutely brilliant. Yes, it wins a lot of points for that. As huge as the story is, the quiet scenes with the Doctor and Wilf that stand out the most. Well, yes, it does, and it's kind of evident that was the original plan of what Ross Davis wanted to do for Tennant's Regeneration. Have a really small story, right, with a small family stuck on a spaceship, which he has to try and save, and he ends up sacrificing himself, right? I think that would have been better. And those original bits of gold ideas, like just they stay pretty clear throughout, right? They still shine through the final thing. Husband's Rid of the Song. I like this a lot. I will put this above End of Time. What was intended as Moffat's final episode before he waited for Chris Chibnall to come back for season 10. The husband's... What? That's what's intended to be his final episode? He waited for Chris Chibnall and came back for season 10. The Husbands of River Song. Blimey, we nearly got an extra year less. It would have been a nice ending to the Moffat era of the show. Alex Kingston making a final appearance as River Song opposite Peter Capaldi's 12th Doctor, and that is just magical, right? This actually would have been a great capstone for Capaldi, right? But I guess they said they wanted to get rid of Capaldi with when they brought Chibnall in, so that might have something to do with him doing an extra year. Meets a new face of the third sign. Well, the only thing I didn't like about this was how she doesn't get It's the Doctor for so long. Well, a lot of this episode is just Christmas TV fluff with Greg Davis and Matt Lucas hamming up with performance. It's Capaldi and Kingston's performance that makes this shine. As the first Doctor Who after Clara's exit, it was great to see the fun interplay between the two. River thinking the Doctor doesn't regenerate after 11th, and the 12th Doctor trying to imply but she should have worked it out much quicker, right? Much quicker. It calls back to River's first appearance in season 4 with the singing tales of Darillium, and one of Capaldi's best moments where he pretends not to know the TARDIS is bigger on the inside. That was great, right? Yes, that was really good. Look, everything about Capaldi's instincts as an actor are normally spot on, but when he knows something so well, as Doctor Who, it just shines. It absolutely shines. The Time of the Doctor. I prefer Husbands of River Song, right? Surprisingly enough, I prefer the Husbands of River Song. Look, this one, they're wrapping up an entire pretty complicated, convoluted era, right? And I still think it works. Normies don't understand what's going on at the best of times. So I think this one, I don't think they mind not understanding what's going on in Doctor Who. So Matt Smith's regeneration episode is jam-packed and almost at the point of spilling over. The Time of the Doctor has a lot to do, from tying up all the loose ends from the 11th Doctor era, which it does very well. I mean, it does it. Well, that's what happens when you have a good writer, right, who understands his plot threads. It ties everything up well, neatly, without actually getting in the way that much. I think there's a bit of silliness with the Matt Smith being naked and projecting clothes on him. Look, it's clear that Moffat wants to write romantic comedies to me. So, with sci-fi, apparently. Has a lot to do from tying up the loose ends of 11th, giving the Doctor a new regeneration cycle and a good Christmas episode as well. Yes, the Christmas episodes actually work quite well from the overall feel to the Town Called Christmas. Yeah, the Town Called Christmas seemed to be a little shoehorned in, but I did like them cooking the turkey in the TARDIS. Right, I thought that was cool. That felt very Christmassy to me. Other elements don't work quite so well as Clara's Christmas dinner with the Doctor turning up with holographic clothes. Yeah, I didn't think so. Tasha Len was supposed to be River Song, and it shows. Really? That makes a lot of sense now. I gotta put this on my rewatch list. Well, it was anyway. I don't think I'm spoiling anything there. And it shows. But what does work in the final act, Matt Smith settling down for what he thinks is his final regeneration with some surprising emotional moments, like the death of Handles. Yes, The death of Handles broke me. Oh, God, that was so sad. That was, do I have him over there? I got old Matt Smith, an old Matt Smith holding a Handles action figure just right up there. Yes. And Clark Missing Time was give the Doctor a new regeneration cycle. That's a bit silly. But I kind of could imagine Joe Grant doing that a lot better, right? That would have made the whole story much better. Joe Grant as the companion for that one. Yes, that would have worked a lot better. It really would have. It's amazing when you think about it. Voyage of the Damned, and again, this is them really understanding what a Christmas special is. It's a Christmas movie. It's what you watch after the turkey. It could be a James Bond movie. Next time it's a disaster movie. And oh boy, does it work as a disaster movie. And there's a lot of heart in it as well, right? Because it's Ralph C. Davis. Ralph C. Davis knows how to write characters, knows how to put families of people together, which is what this is. It's basically the Poseidon adventure in space. It's let down a lot by the villain at the end, who should have been some kind of giant mecha android suit thing. And it's a guy in a head on wheels. It wasn't very good versus Kylie Minogue in a forklift. It should have been, obviously, to me, it seemed like that was very much based on the end of Aliens with Sigourney Weaver in the loader. That's basically what that should have been. Can they reshoot that? Can we get a special edition? That would be better. If you're reshooting anything, putting special editions in, can we get a few more generations of Cybermen in the Doctor Falls? Yes. That'll be good. Voyager Dam is Doctor Who at the beginning of its height of its power. Yes. This episode is Great Christmas Journey just before David Tennant's final season. A spaceship called Titanic is crashing towards Earth. It's such a wonderful Doctor Who concept, structured like a disaster movie. It's not how Doctor Who should be every week. But on this week, it works brilliantly. Yes, it does. I do like David Tennant being kind of like the action figure, the action hero who's going to save everybody. The action is energetic, yes. Great supporting cast and memorable villains. I like the hosts. The hosts were good. And David Tennant shows why he's one of the most popular Doctors. Kylie Minogue guest stars and gives one of her best performances. Gives the best performance as a guest star. Yes! She was actually really good. I love the bit when she turns up on Earth and she's kind of like giddy and excited. Yes. Minogue and Tennant are magnetic together, and of course Karney Minogue wasn't going to stay longer than one episode, but the chemistry between the two was that good that Astrid could have been a full-time companion for the Doctor, no problem. Well, the one problem is she's a highly in-demand pop princess, right? So, yeah. Man, she's so short, though. Like, David Tennant isn't that tall, and she's like, he towers over her. Resolution. How did this turgid piece of shit not go to the bottom of the list? This absolute disaster. Oh, what? She put on a rainbow scarf. Oh, that's Doctor Who. Off. I hate this. Resolution. Not the Dalek, because we don't want to spoil. There might be something fun in the episode. Jodie Whittaker's first special as Doctor Who New Year special. Which is interesting because Stephen Moffat wrote a full extra to keep the slot. But Chris Chibnall is a moron. Only to lose it next year. Exactly. Resident almost works as a true finale to season 11. And it's, okay, one of the greatest crimes of the Chibnall era was selling season 11 and Resolution as two separate releases. Really? You cheap fucks. I mean, that's who you are. You are just cheap fucks, all of you. With a 2-week gap between... Yeah, just a 2-week gap since the Battle of Ranskor of Kolos. What a piece of shit that was. Jodie Whittaker gave her best performance at the time. Really? No, she didn't. With the reintroduction of Daleks giving some much-needed extra weight to the episode. Much-needed weight to the episode. Well, you're not going to get any from Whittaker. The Rogue Dalek Scout is a great one-off design. No. And that ushers the Daleks back into their fully destructive ways. They were fine before. Tosin Cole's Ryan gets a lot to do in this episode. I can't remember. I fell asleep for most of it. It's boring as hell. His dad gets introduced. Yes! And this is the one we see the Doctor be cruel and cowardly, right? Ryan's estranged dad shows up. And Bradley Walsh's Graham cares about Ryan and puts Ryan ahead of him, right? And doesn't let his hatred of his father impact on him because he sees having a relationship with his father is important, right? So he suffers with it because he's the hero of the fucking episode, right? He is the hero of the episode. Doctor Who, Doctor Who with Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who. He's like, "Here, give up, you're a bad person. Oh, I don't like you. You idiot." Again, virtue signaling piece of shit shouldn't be the Doctor, right? And I don't care if you've got a vagina or a penis. Being a virtue signaling piece of shit is not very doctory. Bradley Walsh's Graham have some good scenes in it as well. With guest star Charlotte Ritchie is great though. I don't even remember her. Showing a great range when possessed by a Dalek. We got a female Dalek. What a shock. What a fun romp and one of Jodie Whittaker's best. That's like saying, that was like Hitler's kindest moment. Not really that impressive now, is it? The Christmas Invasion, again, this is one where they're really feeling out what they're doing with the Christmas specials. And I think this one kind of is wobbly because we don't really see much of David Tennant in it. And bits with David Tennant in it are by far the best bits, right? Absolutely the best bits. I love the killer Christmas tree. I thought that, and I love Jackie Tyler. You're going to be killed by a Christmas tree. I love that, right? Again, that he's able to really deliver family Christmas, very, very, very well because he understands family. He understands people. The first Christmas special, the Christmas Invasion, took a risk with its approach. Not only to be the first episode for a Dr. David Tennant is asleep for the majority of the hour. Yes, mainly focused on Rose and her struggle to come to terms with the Doctor's regeneration. While it was a risk, it was one that paid off. Not for me. Honestly, I didn't really warm up to David Tennant's Doctor until Martha showed up. To be frank, really? Yeah, that's actually true. Wow. At the time, it would be the most audience first experience with most of the audience first experience regeneration. So focusing on Rose and allowing the audience to relate to her experience and come to terms with the change that comes to terms with the change at the time as she does works brilliantly. That's actually fair. Okay, that's fair. The Sycorax are good. They're very, very good Doctor Who villain because the story isn't really about them. But do you remember when they did a translation in UNIT? Yeah, firstly, I like UNIT having secret bases under London landmarks. I think that's lovely. But they go, Sycorax rock. What's that mean? They're strong? No, they mean like they rock. Okay, that was great. That was absolutely great. Story isn't about them, so they're just menacing enough to have peril. With it being the first, the Christmas elements are one of the most prominent. With David Tennant does finally wake up and step out the TARDIS, there's no question he is the Doctor. Yes, right, and you get that great sword fight. Is this number one? Because this should be number one. Christmas Carol is, I other than Twice Upon a Time, is just an absolutely beautiful story. Is this the last one? Yes! Finally, we kind of agree, right? So, I find great Christmas stories are often about loss, right? Are often about loss and regret and redemption, which I think this one really, really has. It's about loss, regret, redemption, rebirth, renewal. But, the greatest bit about it is Matt Smith's speech about Christmas. Why do we love Christmas? Because it's at the heart of the winter, the absolute darkest, coldest part of the time. And we say we're halfway there. Yes! You know what? I really, really fundamentally agree with that. Matt Smith had the impossible job to take over from David Tennant, but he did brilliantly in season 5, his best season, and comes back with confidence for his first Doctor Who special. Not sold as a different fucking disc, I will point out, right? A Christmas Carol, following a similar structure to the Dickens story, it also follows the same structure as a short trip story that Moffat wrote with the Seventh Doctor, where he's got to get past a disagreeable low-level official. So basically goes back through the life, trying to make her a better, happier person so he can get what he wants. I like that a lot. Following this similar structure to Dickens story, the Doctor pops up every Christmas trying to change Kazan's life in an attempt to make him a kinder person. The performances are great, not just from Matt Smith, from everybody. Yes, I agree completely. Each actor that plays Kazan is believable. Katherine Jenkins guest star and adds the Christmas spirit with the song. And then, and also she's gorgeous, right? She's absolutely gorgeous. Michael Gambon brings a fantastic performance. Yes, absolutely fantastic performance where he can do the villain and also he can do the turn. And not many people can do a good Scrooge, right? Which is what this is. You see his desire to not be that same person, right? Again, it's that promise of being able to change, being able to do something new, being able to rebirth yourself, right? Which is something that should be very, very Doctor Who. And the emotional importance of that within. Plus, lots of snow and things like Victorian era in space and fish and sharks and things flying through the air. It's lovely, right? You got Amy and Rory on a crashing spaceship. And actually do a spaceship effectively in Doctor Who. I think it's probably one of the first times we get a Star Trek style spaceship. That actually totally works. Michael Gambon gives a fantastic performance. He puts him up there, being guest star with one of the best guest stars in history. I agree completely. A wonderful episode all round. Doctor Who Christmas specials don't get better than this. I tend to agree. I still prefer Twice Upon a Time, right? I still prefer Twice Upon a Time because I'm a big softie, mate. That's me. I'm a big softie, but that's why I love Christmas, baby. I love Christmas. This list was utter poo. I thought we'll get through a bunch of them. No. Apparently not. So there you go. The Doctor Who Christmas specials. I think we went through all of them. Follow my YouTube shorts where I put out on my. I'm doing an advent countdown of the most Christmassy Doctor Who of all time, going out every day, which was kind of helpful for this video because I had to do a lot of research to do those. But it's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.